You guys, you are live on the air with Marcus C. Williams, and we are here together to go over all types of stuff that we've got going on, not just in our nation, but internationally. There's just so much stuff going on day by day by day. And sometimes it can feel burdensome, and sometimes you can feel bogged down. But I don't want you to feel bogged down. I want you to feel like there is somebody that really does care, that is doing their best to look out for you, even though they might not be able to do as much as they like. And that person will be me, because you matter to me. So if you're following us online, please like, share, and subscribe. And you can definitely comment. I'll do my best to pop the comment up and read it on air and put it on the screen if you're watching us online. Take 2 seconds, hit that thumbs up, hit the heart, and definitely share it out to your friends, your family, to all types of groups, and to everybody that needs to start to get in this conversation, because it's an important one to have. Now, an amazing thing just happened just last night. Trump said that he is going to make Dan Bongino, okay, Dan Bongino, the deputy of the FBI. That's amazing. That is absolutely, absolutely amazing. I'm very, very happy that Dan Bongino is going to be the deputy director. We've got Kash Patel, who is now the director of the FBI, and I love Kash Patel. Now, Kash Patel has a long history with the government. He worked for the Department of Justice, which people are like, oh, he doesn't have any experience. He shouldn't do that. What do you mean? He was a prosecutor for the Department of Justice. He worked as the National Security Advisor. Matter of fact, he was the deputy of national security under Trump. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it was a temporary acting director or something like that. But regardless, so he already served at that type of a capacity, and he's got a long time history in government. He's talked often about the need to clean up the federal law enforcement and stuff like that, and how federal law enforcement has been going after the American citizens. And people will say, oh, well, that's just Trump and the Trump people saying this, that, and the third. It's not, you guys. This stuff has been happening for decades. I mean, any of you guys remember Waco, Texas? Like, no, you guys don't. Look up Waco. Look up what happened in Waco, okay? So, the window just blew open over here. The wind's banging pretty hard. But that breeze does definitely feel really good. But look at what happened in Waco, Texas, you guys. And then tell me that the FBI and the ATF and these people don't need to be reined in because they're overbearing on our citizens and doing way too much. You understand what I'm saying? And Waco wasn't the only instance. We've got we've got a number of other incidences outside of just Waco where the government was doing way, 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 way too much, and has not only killed family members but also in babies and children. We've had a history of the FBI bombing black cities, like in black towns and black settlements. Like, that's the FBI. Like, are we serious? The FBI doesn't need to be reined in. The FBI doesn't need reform. Like, what type of conversation are we really having? Like, we're not being serious, and it's very, very sad when you look at something like Waco, where 70, I think it's like 76 people died and 28 of them were children, and that's the ATF and the FBI right there. And that's not the only one. There's a number of other instances that we could talk about, but I just bring this up because people are like, oh, it's just Trump's people complaining about the FBI and stuff like that. I don't know how anybody that is a black American could say something like that, knowing the history of the FBI's weaponizations against black Americans. Like, are you serious? Now you're saying, oh, well, it's only the Trump people. Are you serious? Like, how can you're not being honest with yourself. You're not being honest. It's very, very serious when we have these conversations about reform for agencies like the FBI or the CIA or any of these type of things, where they go into different people. Like, so for one example, The FBI and the NSA have a history of collecting a whole bunch of data on innocent civilians without warrants, without any type of reason to collect data on them. And they do it totally rogue. No judge knows that it's being done. They're just doing it. And many times we see later on, and we'll find documents out that, oh, they were using this information to blackmail these individuals. This is the FBI. This is not new news. I'm only talking about history. I'm not even talking about the past 8 to 12 years. You understand what I'm saying? It's sad. It's really sad that we can't have honest and earnest conversations about this. Luke, I see you commenting there. Luke, let's see what you got to say. What you got going on? Luke says Trump's got the gloves off. He's highly motivated and looks like those 4 years and 2 assassination attempts have really focused him. I don't think we'd see this if his terms were consecutive. Just a thought. Luke, I agree with you. I think that's a really good thought. If you guys are following us online, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and definitely comment. Hit the heart button, hit the like button. Luke, take a second, hit the heart button, hit the like button. I know you're on YouTube. Hit the like button there. Make sure people are following. And let's get to your next comment. Luke says, Waco was a total disaster. Was a horrible chain of events. I think it was the ATF trying to justify the existence after Ruby Ridge. Yeah, and the Ruby Ridge disaster. Oh boy, right? Thank you, Luke, for bringing up Ruby Ridge. You know, it's a terrible thing what happened at Ruby Ridge, you know, and this is one of the big reasons why. And I got friends and associates that work for the ATF, you know, like I support law enforcement and I appreciate a lot of the people that work for them, but it's jacked up. It's really, really, really jacked up what's been going on with the government for years. And for years, we've talked about the militarization of the police and stuff like that. What do you think about the FBI, bro? What do you know, like the police, bro? Like the actual federal police, right? Like the feds, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't call them, they're not called like the feds, like that's not a heavy word for no reason. So I'm really, really happy that all of the people that are getting into these positions are actually getting into the positions. So happy for Kash Patel, happy for Dan Bongino. That this is going to be awesome. And I encourage you also to please go look up Ruby Ridge and what happened there as well. Make sure that you guys online are hitting the like, hitting the share button. And remember, you guys, please do donate. You can donate on Cash App, $MW Real1. We also have Venmo and PayPal. Okay, it's at Marcus C. Williams. You can also do givesendgo.com/Marcus C. Williams and donate there. Donate how you choose. Just drop a comment after you donate and I'll pop that up and I'll encourage other people to match you. Even if it's just $5 that you can donate, please do donate. $5, $10, $15, $25. That's fantastic. Our goal is to get $50 to $100 per show so that we can get more airtime, because again, airtime's not free. And I want to talk to you guys more often and more frequently. We're working on some other shows and stuff like that, but we need your support. And thank you so much for all the support that you guys continue to give, and every single share that you guys do to share out always helps. If you can't donate, please make sure that you're sharing, or do both. That's always awesome, and extra helpful. Okay, we're going to get to one more comment by Luke and we're going to go on. Let's see. And remember, drop a comment if you want me to read it online and you want to comment on what we're talking about. Luke says, all those agencies have basically turned into paramilitary groups, and when you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail. It's literally only a matter of time before they use all that gear. That's a fact. So that you should see some of the, like, okay. So before I address that exact comment that Luke just made, let me say this. I've been talking about what's going on with these drones and these automatons, okay, the robots, stuff like that, these robot spheres and these robot dogs, and the fact that they're blowing up people and stuff like that. I don't know if you guys remember, like maybe it's 10 years ago, 10 years ago, they blew that guy up in Austin, okay, with the robot. The robot blew the guy up. You understand what I'm saying? Intentionally, the police did that. Matter of fact, I think it was a sheriff. Let me ask the internet. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Who blew up the Austin sniper? I think it was the sheriff that blew him up. So again, this isn't even. Oh, it was just the police department. It wasn't even the sheriff. You understand what I'm saying? So this is just the police using a robot to blow somebody up. It's not even the sheriff or the FBI or the ATF. So imagine if the regular police would use a robot to blow somebody up. We know that the police, like in Baltimore, okay, blew up all those houses, okay, in the whole Move incident. Go look up Move in Baltimore, okay, look up the Move bombing, okay. The government did that, the police, as a matter of fact, okay. When we talk about the FBI and stuff using drones and using and like, right, like we're just talking about the FBI, right? Okay, we could be talking about the ATF or the DEA or any of the other number of alphabet agencies, the NSA, which nobody really knows what the NSA does. We have a general concept that they collect all of our data and they're looking through all of our phone calls and tracking all of our internet history all the time. We have that general concept of what the NSA does, but they do way more than that. When you talk about people like the men in black suits just coming up, like the feds, when you say a nameless Fed organization, usually it's them. You understand what I'm saying? Usually it's the NSA or one of these other alphabet agencies. That's one of these intelligence agencies that are quasi private military intelligence, you know? And honestly, a lot of these groups say they are supposed to be working in favor of the United States, but I don't think that many of them are. And like the CIA has lost its way, unfortunately. CIA, I love y'all. Don't get it twisted, okay? Please don't come for me. I love y'all. But I honestly believe that the CIA has lost its way. It started off with, what was it, the OSS? You know, the CIA started off with OSS. They were part of military intelligence, and they were supposed to actually be serving our country. Now, the CIA's mandate changed over the years as they turned into the actual CIA. And then they were about assassinations and toppling foreign governments and stuff like that. And then they weren't supposed to operate inside the United States. But we found out more and more, time and time again, that the CIA is operating inside the United States with projects like Operation Mockingbird. If you're not familiar, go look it up. It's the CIA's manipulation of the United States media to use the United States media against the American people to cultivate certain thoughts and certain concepts of different things. Go look that up. If you don't think that it's happening still now, even though that's like the 70s and stuff like that, it's still happening. You understand what I'm saying? Like they were experimenting with mind control actively, okay? And we know about it. Like it's everybody knows that they were experimenting with mind control, right? Like, but can we have these conversations? Like, are we being real serious? Like, if they were doing the mind control stuff, MK Ultra, again, I could go on a list of a ton of different projects that the government has done, okay, over and over again, that are not like conspiracy theories. These are conspiracy facts. Like, we know about them. Like we could go down a list of towns that have been wiped off the map by the military experiments and stuff like that. That's why they're suing the military right now over the Lone Star tick, giving people diseases to red meat, allergic to red meat. Who the heck? What type of what? That's not a real thing. That's a bioengineered weapon. And we know that the military was experimenting with this. All I'm saying is, and I don't want to get too far off of where the topic was of what Luke said as far as the militarization of these quasi paramilitary agencies with these alphabet intelligence agencies. But the fact of the matter is many people will say, oh no, the government wouldn't do that. Yes, they would. Let me say it to you real clear. Let me get real close to the microphone and real close to the camera. If anybody tells you that the government would not do that, oh yes, they would. So I'm 100% very pleased that we've got a lot of people that are getting into these agencies and in control of these different departments that have said that they're willing to clean them up and that they're going to actually start to actively clean them up. I heard that the CIA is having the largest, I don't know if you call it removal or replacement or displacement of agents that they've ever had. You know, I don't know. I think that they probably have too many analysts. They never seem to get anything right, which makes me wonder, are they getting things right that we don't know about that shouldn't be right because they're not to benefit the United States? When you get into these different agencies with all their black budgets and all types of stuff, if you guys aren't familiar with black budget projects, they're basically projects that are not on the books that we don't really know about. Many of them that we never find out, but sometimes we do through declassifications 50, 60 years later, like the Philadelphia experiment. Go look that up. Okay, again, real stuff that sounds like a conspiracy if you're not familiar with what's going on. So when they say that the government wouldn't do that, oh yes, they would. So hats off to Cash Patel and Dan Bongino. You guys, if you're following online, hit the share button. Take 2 seconds. I see it's a couple of y'all watching now, quite a few of y'all watching now. Hit the share button. That's it. That's all I'm asking. Share, retweet, hit that retweet button. It doesn't cost you anything. Just get this out to more people. And if you're listening to us on the radio, make sure you tell your friends, your family, your enemies, okay, and your neighbors. Mondays, tune in to The Divide on WRFZ 106.3, The Divide with Marcus C. Williams. Let's get back into it because there's a ton of stuff going on right now. So Trump and Zelensky are going at it, I guess. Not that Zelensky could really go against Trump, not because Trump is Trump, but because Trump is the president of the United States. Like, who the heck is Zelensky? You understand what I'm saying? Zelensky is a tin pot dictator. And somebody will say, oh, well, Marcus, no. We're not playing that game with me. Play that game with somebody else. Look for sympathy for that monster from somebody else. He was killing his own people. Okay? Zelensky was having his own people shot that did not want to go out to war. Let's not play that game. That's why they pulled in the beginning of the war. That's why they pulled all of the media out of there. Okay? Because they were summarily executing any young men, any men of military age that did not want to fight in the war. Okay, and this is a process that continued on, even to them snatching young men off the streets, the age of 13 years old, okay, to go put them on the front lines. This is not a joke. Do you guys remember when they said that the U.S. under Biden said that they're sending over all of these confiscated weapons from the United States to Zelensky so that they can train 12 and 13-year-olds on how to use semi-automatic firearms that are like what they call assault rifles? Like, are we serious? Like, is this like, did this not happen? Like, are you guys that forgetful? I know you can't be that forgetful, but they would like to you not remember the past. But that is something that happened. But here they don't want you to be able to defend yourself. But you'll send them over to, man, please stop it. Stop. Okay, don't play with me over the Second Amendment. Okay, I love my country. Okay, to death do us part. Okay, but I don't trust my government because I know better. But speaking of Zelensky and his corrupt self, where the money goes, Zelensky? He got on the TV the other day talking about, oh, I don't know where half the money went, even though half of the money that allegedly they sent us is like $300 billion. I don't know where the money is. What do you mean you don't know where the money is? I know where a good portion of the money is. In your wife's bank account. Okay, in your bank account. How you got 10 mansions all across the world, Zelensky? Ain't you at war? Ain't you been at war since you've been in office, basically, which is a whole separate conversation, which we can't have. How your military generals got all of these houses and nice cars and stuff like that? How all of your aides and all of these people got all of this stuff? Can we have those conversations? Like, people holding this guy up like he's some hero. He's a monster. He shut down all of the news channels and everything so that only the government news was in place. Okay, that's complete tyranny. Like, are y'all serious? Then on top of that, he was over there executing priests, okay, and raping nuns. That was a real thing that was happening. I don't know if it's still happening, but it's been happening quite some time. And people say, oh, well, that's because it was a Russian Orthodox church. Why? Because they were saying that you shouldn't be fighting and letting everybody die up? Like, y'all tripping. Like, what are you talking about? And they just try to say, oh, well, because it's Russian in front of it, it's the enemy. No, man, no. Ain't nobody got no time for that. I was reading an article earlier, and I don't want to hammer this drum too much because it's not of the most important thing to me, but they owe us money, and I'm not happy about that. I want all our money back, bro, because they're over there. Do you know that they're over there paying for the pensions, okay, of the civil servants in Ukraine when our civil servants here are struggling with limited pensions and stuff like that? Are you serious? You're paying the pensions for a whole nother country? Are they part of the United States? Unless they want to be a part of the United States, they don't get a daggone dime. I don't care. And the same thing, they don't. It's just not them. It's any other country. I don't care. I have zero qualms. Then Zelensky is like, oh, I don't want to pay back the U.S. You don't want to, what? Bro, what? What? Don't let me talk about it how I really feel, you disrespectful turd bucket. Okay? Like, are you serious? Like, are you serious? Like, but you're going to pay back Europe? You understand what I'm saying? Like, I feel bad for the people of Ukraine. You understand what I'm saying? Because there's a whole bunch of shady, shisty stuff going on there. We've talked about it over some months and stuff like that. But, I mean, honestly, the way that he's talking right now, man, he need to get popped in the lip. For real. Like, all of that money that you gave us, like, you don't want to ever pay it back, but you're going to pay back Europe? Who the flying monkey uncle is Europe? Okay? Then we gave you all these weapons and stuff, and you don't want to pay nobody back, bro? What are you talking about? And remember, he canceled all the elections in his country and enforced martial law. Like, are we serious right now? And I know people have feelings and stuff about him because they've been taught to think that he's so fantastic and all of this and all of that. He's not. He's not. He's a tin pot dictator just like the rest of them. Okay, a charlatan tool of the West while he's letting his people suffer. Why ain't none of that aid ever get to the people? Why do people of Ukraine always raising money for Ukraine and we're sending them billions of dollars? Why always over here? I think we got one of the biggest Ukrainian populations in the country in Rochester. It might be the first largest. Okay, but if not, it's one of the largest. I think it's in the top 3. I don't know if it's number 1 or not, but it's very high. And they're always raising money for Ukraine. Why they need money for Ukraine, Zelensky? Where is the money at? Where is the money, bro? But I digress. This man owes us money, and he need to pay up, or Ukraine needs to become part of the United States. One of the two. Then they talking about, oh, well, they're going to put European troops in Ukraine or whatever the case is. Okay, that's your own business. Ukraine is, guess what? In Europe, not in America. It ain't in North America. It ain't in South America. It ain't in Caribbean America. It ain't in Central America. Okay, if they want to do that, that's on them. That's good. You know what I'm saying? Go help them. You understand? Y'all should have been helping them from the first part. We shouldn't have been over there at all. We shouldn't have been getting them no money, nothing. Okay? Straight government waste. Okay? I got a lot to say on it. I don't even want to dig into it because it is very upsetting. It's very, very upsetting when it comes to the issues that we're having internally in our country right now. We've got so many issues that money could be going to in our country. They're like, oh, people are dying. You know how many people are overdosing here? There is a guy, I was talking to a homeless guy the other day, yesterday. I do like volunteering and stuff like that. I don't publicize it or anything like that because that's not why I do it. But anyway, talking to this homeless guy, and he's like, yeah, man. He was like, 2 people just overdosed at the bus terminal just not too long ago yesterday. And I was like, really? He was like, yeah, man. He's like, they both overdosed in the bathroom stall, and one was they found dead, and the other one they tried to resuscitate, and they brought him back, and then he collapsed outside, and this, that, and third, and da 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 da. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. That's insane. But where is the conversation about that in America, helping those people? But we got so much money to go to other countries. We could have been financed. All of the homeless could have houses. You understand what I'm saying? All of the homeless could have houses. We wouldn't have any help. And we could have sent everybody to college for free. You understand what I'm saying? Well, not for free, but out of that money, we could have covered all the costs for everybody's tuition. So these are serious conversations that we need to have that we're not having. Now, the last couple of days, there's been a lot of news going on with CPAC and what's been going on at CPAC. CPAC is the conservative action conference, essentially. So there's been a lot of news. They had a lot of great speakers there this year, as always. Trump spoke there. Bolsonaro's son spoke there. Bolsonaro is the president of Brazil. That there's a whole bunch of malfeasance there, where they had this communist, legitimate communist. Like, this isn't me being what do you call it, inflacious or hyperbolic or whatever. Legitimate communist, registered communist. Okay, who was in jail for corruption. Like, the U.S. people, the intelligence agencies under Biden got this guy out of prison, rigged the election to run the election against Bolsonaro, and it was crazy because Bolsonaro was for the people and for improving Brazil. And then a whole bunch of other shady stuff happened after that happened. But anyway, Bolsonaro was there. Javier, I can't remember his last name, but the chainsaw guy, the Fuera guy from Argentina, who's working on improving Argentina, who's doing a great job down there. I think they said that the Nigel Farage was there and a whole bunch of other people. They also had, I believe Pam Bondi was there too, and a couple of other people, including people like Steve Bannon and stuff like that. So there was a lot of news that came out of that because people were mad because whenever there's conservatives having a meeting, they're always mad. It's crazy. And something interesting that happened yesterday was in the German elections. The Germans have a party. It's called AfD, and I don't want to jump into German politics too much, but this is important for a wider scale issue in reference to conservatives. So the Germans have a party. It's called AfD. They're a like essentially Germany first type of party. You know, they want to fix all of the issues that are harming the German people and fix the economy and stuff like that that has been collapsing because of policies of government expansion and illegal. Well, it's not even illegal over there. It's actual legal migration over there, which is different than what's happening here. But they just let them all in. That's why they've had all of these terrorist attacks over in Germany that you probably haven't even heard about. And it's been really, really bad there. But there's a lot of stuff happening all around the world. And today we find out that AfD, if you guys are following online, please hit like, share, and subscribe. Definitely drop a thumbs up. And if you drop a comment, I'll do my best to pop it up on the screen. So I guess, So I guess the AfD really kicked butt in Eastern Germany, right? And now they're starting to even get wins in Western Germany. They're really starting to take over the map. And good for them, you know. They want to improve Germany and stuff like that. And they've been compared to all types of horrible negative stuff. Like they'll say, oh, well, they're like Nazis and stuff like that. But they said the same thing against Trump and the I guess you say the MAGA movement, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. Like, that's not even. And you know what? Let's have a conversation here. Hold tight real quick. We're going to have this serious conversation, so don't go away. You guys, you are listening to The Divide with Marcus C. Williams on WRFZ 106.3 FM, Rochester Free Radio. And remember, tell all your friends, your family, your enemies, and your neighbors up the street, and the neighbors down the street to tune in every Monday, 2:30 to 4 p.m. to listen to The Divide with Marcus C. Williams on 106.3 FM. If you guys are listening to us on the radio or online, remember that you can donate on Cash App. That's $MW Real, the number one. That's $MW Real, the digit one. Okay, please drop whatever you can there. $5, $25, $50, $100. We're working to raise $100 per episode so that we can get more airtime and we can talk more about the important things that are facing us every day, the serious conversations that are dividing us that we need to have. You can also donate via Venmo or PayPal. That's at Marcus C. Williams. Again, that's Venmo or PayPal. You can do at Marcus C. Williams. And as always, we have givesendgo.com/Marcus C. Williams. So please do donate. And if you donate, drop a comment saying that you donated, and I'll do my best to pop it up on the screen and encourage others to donate as well. Now let's get back into it. So we were talking about the AfD, Germany's, I guess you call them Germany's Conservative Party. not to be confused with England's Conservative Party, which is like right light. Like they're not really that conservative, even though they call themselves the Conservative Party. I had a lot to say about it, like false naming and false branding, but whatever. But I do like Nigel Farage. Okay, so but he's out for the Reform Party, and I'm good for him, right? Like that's really good that they started up their own thing. Kevin, I see you made a comment there. Give me a second. I'm going to get to that in a couple seconds. So, but we need to have this serious comment of them labeling people Nazis and how it's diminishing what happened during Nazism in Europe and in Africa, right? Because everybody forgets that the Germans went in Africa and massacred thousands of Africans. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't even talk about that. Millions of Africans even. They killed more Africans than they did Jews, but you never hear that one time. Let me say that again so that we can make sure that we make this clear. Germany, the Nazis, killed more Africans in Northern Africa, okay, and Central and Eastern Africa, okay, or is that West? Yeah, that's Eastern. Central and Eastern Africa than they killed Jews. Can we have that conversation? No, because they don't want you to talk about that history. That's actual history. You can go look it up. Okay. So Germany was real big in Africa. They had taken over a lot of land and territory. They basically took over almost everything up to Algeria. They were coming for Algeria too. You understand what I'm saying? So it was a lot of stuff going on there. There's a lot of stuff going on there. But what I'm saying is that calling people Nazis nowadays, unless they're like legit Nazis, which most of these people aren't, you're diminishing calling people Nazis. Like they said, oh, well, what's his name? Elon Musk did the Nazi salute or whatever. And some people are like, no, it wasn't a Nazi salute. It was the Roman salute. Now, a little history on the Roman salute. Okay, there's no actual proof that that was done in Rome. It all really comes from one painting that is the reference that was a Roman salute. But we used to do that salute too in the United States. Like when you were saying the pledge to the flag and stuff like that, that was our salute too. All the way through the end of World War II, that was our salute. So we had been doing that since the inception of our country. That was a common practice, you know. But we also have to remember, many people will say this, that we are the extension of the current Roman Empire, which is a whole separate conversation. I'm not going to get into that real big, but there's a lot of evidence that would substantiate that. I don't know how deep you want to go into that and whether it's true or not. I don't care, you know. But the point remains is that that was the same salute that we were doing. But after World War II, they tried to get rid of everything that reminded people a lot of the Nazis. So they got rid of the swastika, which was part of Christian traditions, Buddhist traditions, and legitimately all the traditions of all of the faiths in the world, essentially. If you go to Asia, like the swastika is not like something that is all scary boogity boogity Nazis. They're like, oh, it's a swastika. It's a universal symbol for alignment and what do you call it? The universal flow of energy and stuff like that. And people say that it represents good fortune and so forth. I mean, shoot, looked like it worked out for the Nazis. It seemed to bring them really good fortune. You understand what I'm saying? They almost took over all of Europe, and they would have had Russia too, but they was doing too much. Okay, so but again, the point of the matter is that slowly we've been minimizing what actually happened during Nazism because we've falsely attributed the word Nazi to whoever the left doesn't like or the Democrats don't like now. So when Elon Musk was on stage and he did a Roman salute or a Asperger's a gesture or whatever the case is, or my heart goes out to you or whatever, and everybody was like, oh, well, that's a Nazi salute. I don't think so. I don't think that it was. Okay. Now, and I'm going to tell you something real quick. If you guys have been following me for some time, you guys know that I like a lot of the stuff that Elon Musk is doing. I like Tesla. I like the Boring Company. I like what do you call it? It was Solar City. Now it's part of Tesla. But I like that. They got a couple of other things that him and his brother are working on. You guys, you got to be careful with those people. There's some really, really not right about them. But I like a lot of the stuff that they're doing and so forth and so on. But I'm telling you right now, Elon is an ethno globalist, and he is somebody long term that we should be concerned about. But the problem is everybody's like, oh no, he's he's a Nazi. He's not a Nazi, bro. Elon is not a Nazi. He's something else entirely. Now, and I'll give you an example because right now they're trying to get all of these South Africans to come over here. And I'm going to tell you something about South Africa that a lot of you guys don't seem to know. You guys know, everybody says, oh, well, America was racist. America is racist, whatever. America ain't got nothing on South Africa, okay? The way that they did the actual melanated Africans in South Africa, the way the white people did them, the US couldn't bat an eyelash at what they were doing. Crazy insanity. Up until 1995, the white people were burning black people in the street. And they're not black, they're melanated Africans. But for all intents and purposes, I'm using that phrase at this time. So forgive me, y'all. Okay, because black means African American, as they like to call us, which we're not African American. Black is an ethno nationality. It means Black American of American Indian origin. Okay, it's not that. It's not anything to do with Africa. But like I was saying, they were burning black people in the streets, dragging them behind cars. And we're talking about in 1995, y'all. Like, y'all remember Nelson Mandela, free Nelson Mandela, all this nonsense? Okay? Like, that's where all of that came from. But people don't seem to remember that. If you guys are watching online, please hit the heart button, hit the like, hit the share button, get this message out there, because we need to have these important conversations that people are not having. Okay, Kevin, I know you put another comment up. I'm going to read that in a couple seconds here as I finish this. So now they're bringing over all of these South Africans because they're refugees, because the government in South Africa, which is now run by melanated individuals, is kicking off all the white farmers off their land. Now, did you hear that a couple of years ago when they were getting rid of all of the Indians in South Africa? No? You didn't hear about that when they were kicking out all of the Indians in South Africa? Why not? Nobody said any of that? And I'm not talking about Indians like Native Americans. I'm talking about like Red Dot, okay, Hindus, okay? Nobody said anything about that. I remember that was happening. Okay, I did some videos and stuff about that happening. Nobody talked about that, but because it's white Afrikaners, and I forget what you call the other people. There's another word for the other white class of people over there in South Africa. But the point of the matter is that now, because it's them, these ruling elite class people, because the low class toppled the white elites in that country. Okay, and they're saying, oh well, they're white farmers, so the farmland is very precious. Okay, over there, and the melanated people over there, the actual originators of South Africa, the melanated people there, have been displaced and dispossessed of their family and familial land and stuff like that. And this is something like, if you ever seen the Shaka Zulu movie, go watch the Shaka Zulu movie. It's a great movie. It's a great movie. Okay, about Shaka Zulu fighting against the English, right? And that's the English. A lot of these people there are from the Dutch. Okay, they're from the Dutch. And if y'all thought that the English was bad and racist, y'all don't know what was up with the Dutch. The Dutch was really super bad. They was about bad as the Belgians. Okay, and King Leopold in the Congo. King Leopold killed more Africans, okay, than anybody killed anybody in the history of modern life and existence. He killed more people. This is something like, I don't even know, something like allegedly over 20 million, right? Like one of the accepted number is somewhere between 11 million to 15 million people were killed in the Congo when it was under King Leopold. Okay, but we can't talk about him at all. But the real estimates are much higher than that. And we're still seeing the suffering in the Congo today now they're still at war right now. Now there's a big whole civil war where one of the factions is being supported by Rwanda and stuff like that. It's just crazy stuff going on there. Pray for the Congo. Okay, everybody's talking about free Palestine, free the Congo, bro. Like what? Like what are you talking about? Like, it's a genocide in Palestine. It's not. It's not. You want to see a genocide? Talk about the Congo. Talk about the Sudan. You want to talk about a real genocide? Like, y'all know what y'all talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, but these are the real conversations that we need to have. Let's get to Kevin's comment because I want to get back to what I'm talking about. Kevin, I'm going to pop your comment up. We'll go through it real quick and then we're going to get back on task. Kevin says, I'm glad that Trump is restricting food stamps once again to only U.S. citizens when Monroe County DSS had, Monroe County is the county that I live in, you guys. When Monroe County DSS had to give food stamps to the illegals, I could not get a DSS rep to talk to me over the phone. Yeah, you couldn't get them to talk to you because they didn't want to talk to you because they were all too tied up with the illegal aliens. Now, so you guys, if you don't know what's going on here in Rochester, it is in Monroe County. We are a sanctuary county. We are a sanctuary city, and we're in a sanctuary state. The whole thing is absolute bananas, right? Absolute bananas and unacceptable. So it's a problem. But he mentions what's going on with DSS, and he's right. They were giving these illegal aliens, okay, tons of food stamps and vouchers for housing and all types of stuff. And then some of these people got up at the county ledge and they would say, oh, we don't have enough money for food stamps, okay? Redhead Rachel, okay, to name a few, okay? Her ridiculous self, okay? She always on about something. I'm with her when she's right, but the majority of the time she's on about nonsense, okay? But she's like, oh, well, we don't have enough resources for the people for DSS. No, duh, because you're giving it to the illegal aliens. Then she had the nerve the other day to talk about, oh, well, I just want to know. I wrote a letter to the sheriff to find out about what they're doing with the illegal aliens and are they communicating with ICE? Shut up. Shut your mouth, bro. Like, are you serious? Like, your job is to represent the citizens of this area. You trying to be out here representing illegal aliens. You tripping balls, bro. Like, are you serious with everything we got going on in our city right now, in our county? Like, that's your priority? Anyway, we're off that, Kevin. Let's get back on track to what I was talking about. These Afrikaners, okay? They talking about, oh, well, Trump's letting in all of the white people from South Africa or whatever. He shouldn't. I don't want him to. Those people are super racist. Because if you watch me and you know me and you follow me, I don't call nobody racist. Most things are not racist. I'm not with all of this. Everything is racist nonsense, existential racism, all this bull jive, microaggression nonsense. I'm not with none of that. But these people are the true definition of racist. They've been raised up under a racist regime. They know nothing but racism. And I'm sure that there are some of them are good. Okay. But the vast majority of them are not. Okay. Because they have that mentality, which is completely separate from what is in the US. And they don't want listen, it ain't good. It ain't good. Now, aside from them being the British and the Dutch and the Belgium, okay, white people down there with their segregating all of South Africa and their whole segregated white towns and all types of stuff. And you couldn't be black and you couldn't go into the cities and all types of stuff. And not black like Black American, but like African. And I'm sorry for saying that again like that, but I know many people don't know what I'm saying when I'm saying melanated because they're not black. Okay, that's a separate conversation. But yeah, it's serious, bro. Like, it's serious. Like, do you know that the Nazis went over there after the fall of the Nazi Empire? They went over there. Like, are we like? Of course, they went to Brazil and Argentina and Chile as well, and a couple of other places. But they really settled heavy in South Africa. Like, did we forget where AIDS came from? Like, that came from a biological weapons program against melanated people in Africa, against the actual Africans there, that was being run by, again, you can't even say racist because it's not strong enough, right? Like, eugenicist, like, government in South Africa. Like, this is just like, that's 1980s, bro. Like, that's not even that long ago. But everybody thinks 10 years ago is forever ago. And most Americans don't know what happened down there. So I don't want them people here. I don't. Because I already know what they're about, the vast majority of them, and just saying, oh, well, we're letting them over here. How you letting them over here, bro? Don't we got enough problem with these fake feds out here trying to make it like they're racist and stuff like that, talking about the what do you call them, Patriot Front, ridiculous people. Okay, don't we got enough of them out here already? Don't we got these crazy neo-Nazis and other jackbirds out here also? We don't got enough of these people here. You trying to bring us some new ones? And they're ethno globalists. They're ethno globalists. Like you thought that these Nazis and these KKK people are bad. These people are on a whole nother level. Okay, a whole nother level. Like y'all just don't even know. These ethno, it's crazy. These ethno globalists, they're a real problem. Remember, you're hearing it here first. Ethno globalists. That's what these people are. That's what Elon Musk is. And long term, they are dangerous. But like I said, y'all out here calling this man a Nazi. He is not. They out there calling Steve Bannon a Nazi now. He's not. Well, Steve Bannon did the Roman salute or the Nazi salute. Yeah, because people can do that now because you diminished it so much by saying that, oh, well, look at what Elon's doing. Look, everybody's a Nazi because you've made the word worthless. The word Nazi isn't even worth anything anymore. You've diminished it so much. This is what the Democrats have done. This is what the left has done. And it's terribly tragic. If you're following online, hit like, hit share, get this message out. We need to be having these very serious, important conversations. I do like what Elon's doing with with Doge, excuse me. I do like Elon's companies, but I'm telling you, long term, you need to watch out for him. And I don't know what he's setting his son up with, but X marks the spot. Don't none of y'all be played. Remember, I told you ahead of time, they ain't up to nothing but no good. Okay? I'm telling you, watch it. Mark my words. And again, even though I like what he's doing right now, mark my words. Long term, you'll see it. You'll live to see that I'm right about this. Okay. So also, I wanted to make sure that we hit on a couple of other things that are going on right now. It's a lot of stuff that's coming down the pipeline because of the restructuring of our government. And some people are saying, oh, well, we're not happy with them getting rid of all of these people. We're not happy with them firing all of these people and shrinking the government and stuff like that. If it was up to me, I'd shrink the government 75% tomorrow. No lines, no waiting. We'd shut it down. Okay. 75%. They're not trying to do that. And honestly, I think their numbers are too small. But if we did that all at once, it would be a lot of pain all at one time. So I think maybe going softly, 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 and then all at once is probably a little bit better if they do it like that. But I mean, hey, there's so much going on right now that you can barely see anything. I'm glad that they're going to go into Fort Knox and allegedly they're going to live stream it. I don't think there's any gold there, you guys. I have no reason to believe there's any gold there. I think they took the gold out a long time ago. There's no gold there. Now they're trying to really hurry up and get gold back into that. And that's not something that's going to happen. They're going to go over there. They're going to say, oh, well, there's not enough gold in here. Or they'll say, oh, there's gold here. And it'll make it like something's going on. It'll make it like something's going on. It's not, though. It's really, I don't trust it. And we need to go back to the gold bullion as our base of currency. Like, oh, gold back money. No, I don't even want gold back money, y'all. I don't even want to go back to gold back money unless it's fractional. I want physical gold in circulation. You understand what I'm saying? Like that's really like I want physical gold in circulation because I don't trust the government with all this digital stuff that they're pushing. It's very, very dangerous because who controls the electricity? The government. Who can shut down the electricity at any given time? The government. Okay. Who controls the internet? The government. Who invented the internet? The government. You understand what I'm saying? Who can shut down the internet? The government. Look at how they've debanked all of these people in Canada. The government. Look at how they debanked all the people in Australia and in New Zealand. The government. So so debanking is the process of taking away or closing or restricting somebody's accounts within the banking system or in a banking institution. Okay, so it's really, really, really serious. It's really serious, but we can't even talk about it. We can't even talk about it. Now they've got I don't know if you guys know this. There's been a big conversation about Haiti the last couple of days because Trump got rid of Haiti's TPS status, temporary protective status, and now the people are going to have to go back. I think they got like another 30 days or maybe it's 60 days. I'm not sure. But then they'll have to go back to Haiti, right? Now, we're not bringing over the best and brightest from Haiti. Not that Haiti has the best and brightest over there because most of them had already fled before the craziness actually went down. I really feel for Haiti, and I got a lot of friends that are from there or have business over there. What's going on over there is atrocious. You know who killed their president? We killed their president, but we can't even talk about that. Okay, the US killed their president. Okay, Joe Biden killed their president, but we can't talk about that. Okay, Kamala Harris killed their president, but we can't talk about that, right? So anyway, we can't talk about the craziness that's going on over there. You know, right now Kenya has a lot of troops over there in Haiti, okay? And they're working to combat the violence and the gangs over there in Haiti. I think that's really great of Kenya. Look at Kenya on the move, Africa on the come up. Kenya's got its own problems back home, but I guess you got to get some first feet on the ground to get your hands wet and your blade sharpened, right? So good for them. But I guess they're over there fighting the gangs, and they've been over there for a little while, and they're starting to make some headway. So good for them. Good for them. I hope that the Haitian people go back and there's more peace there than we know, because people just act like what's going on in Haiti isn't going on, and that there isn't an international peace brigade over there, and large portions of the what do you call it, of the military, I guess they're called, a military detachment essentially from Kenya is over there. So if you guys like what we're talking about and you like hearing about stuff that isn't talked about very often, please hit like, share, and subscribe. Drop a heart, drop a comment. I'll do my best to pop the comment up on the screen and read your comment. Okay. I know sometimes we talk about stuff that you might not, this might be your first time hearing of, or things like that, because we really want to do our best to have important conversations that aren't had that often. So I'd like to talk some more about Africa and what's going on in the Sudan, but we'll leave that out for now because I want to bring it back a little bit because there's other stuff that we need to go through as well. Like China right now, going over to Taiwan and flying a whole bunch of basically bombing raid drills over in Taiwan. And the other day, a U.S. I don't know what you call it. Not a cutter. What do you call it? The bigger vessels. It's not quite a destroyer. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The U.S. was going through the strait, I don't know, what do you call that strait? I don't know, the Taiwanese Strait. Okay, they were going through there, and China got mad, right? But China's been flying all of these missions around Taiwan, talking about, oh, we can blow you guys up at any time. It's dangerous, you guys. What's going on? And I'm glad that what's happening is Trump is returning all of our manufacturing, including for chips and stuff, back to the US because we need those supplies. That's a lifeline to the production of goods and services that we need in our country. Because when Taiwan gets attacked, it's not if, it's when. When China decides that they want to reunify Taiwan, ain't no way. I don't care what anybody tells you. I don't care what Trump tells you. I don't care what you heard from Biden or Harris. I don't care what you heard from what was that guy's name? Lloyd Jackson. Is his last name Jackson? I don't remember. Lloyd, okay, the guy, the previous defense secretary. Lloyd Austin. There we go. Lloyd Austin or Pete Hegseth or whatever. The US is not about to fight for Taiwan. I don't care what you heard. It's just not happening. It's not practical, and we don't have the manpower. We would lose we'd probably lose half our fleet in the first 48 hours. You understand what I'm saying? Half our whole fleet. We don't have enough subs. We don't have enough boats. We'd lose half our fleet. It would be a horrible war for us to participate in. It wouldn't make any sense. So we're not going to do it. It's just not. I'm telling you now. Don't listen to what these people say because they want to try to make you think something that's not true. Oh, they're our allies and we're going to defend them. No, you won't. You're lying. Stop lying. Stop lying. But the idea is that we're working under the guise of the fact that they're our ally. If we sell them some weapons, if we get them some things, then maybe it'll look like we're going to defend them when it comes to for China to come over and get them. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen at all. I promise you. Watch it. And China says that they're going in there by 2030. I do not believe that either. Okay, it's 2025 now. I think they'll be in there by 27. Okay, if something major doesn't shift here, Lord willing, America gets everything going the way that it needs to, and it'll make it less likely that it'll happen sooner, and it's more likely that it'll happen later. We don't want it to happen at all, but it's going to happen. And China needs to do that. Okay. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with Taiwan, and I'm going to hop off this subject and talk about some other stuff, but if you guys aren't familiar with Taiwan, Taiwan is actually the Taiwanese, what is it, the Republic of China, right? They're the Republic of China. And the mainland China is the communist, it's the, what do you call it? Not the People's Army. What the heck is China's official name? I don't remember. But essentially, China mainland is communist. The Taiwanese, which is the island, I guess it's an island. It's an island. It's big, but it's an island still. The Taiwanese are the Chinese Republic. There was a war a long time ago, okay, where with Mao Zedong, where they pushed all of the people that were fighting for the republic and for the of China to stay in power, got pushed out of the mainland China and pushed onto the island of Taiwan during a huge fight. They were the nationalists, okay, and they wanted to take back their country from the communists, but it didn't ever happen, and now they can't do it. Which there's a lot of history there where the U.S. should have backed them to begin with. We were backing the wrong horse. Okay, look into that. That's crazy. Okay, it's kind of like how what is his name? Eisenhower said that we shouldn't have stopped at the liberation in Germany and stuff like that. So we shouldn't have stopped at Berlin. We should have marched all the way right into Moscow. Okay, because those were the real enemies, talking about the Soviets, because the Soviets were communists, because the communists are the real enemy, no matter where they are, whether they're in Russia, whether they're in China, whether they're in South America, whether they're in Africa, wherever they are, communists and socialists are the enemy of the American people. And that's on period, okay? It is what it is. Today, Macron is meeting with Trump. Trump ain't happy with him. He ain't even come out and greet him at the car. Usually you see world leaders come up and they greet them at the car and stuff like that. Trump said, I'm not going out there. That dude is a fool. And he be popping that smack. I'm not messing with him like that. He can walk his slimy, limey self all in by himself. So that's how Trump was really feeling. But, which kind of funny. But it's crazy. And this just came in. I didn't know that this even happened. I missed this. But apparently Democrats are saying that there is they're comparing Doge to the Holocaust. That's crazy. I don't know how you even say something like that. And we talked a little bit about that earlier. That's kind of crazy. I can't believe that that's going on even. But anyway, I am about tired of all of these different plane crashes. I don't know about you, but these planes seem to be falling out of the sky, seem to be having mechanical issues. The companies seem to be having issues, and their stock seems to be having issues. I'm going to tell you what it is right now, for real, for real. Can I be real with you guys for a second? Can I be real for you? I'm going to tell you exactly what's going on. You want to know what's going on? They're trying to make it so that you don't want to fly on a plane. They're trying to crash the plane industry, and no puns intended, and drive up the prices so it becomes unbearable for the everyday citizen to take a plane. This is a long-term goal. Okay, this is not a short-term thing. This is what they're going up to with these 15-minute cities. Please look up 15-minute cities where they limit your mobility and you can't get out from where within 15 minutes of where you live. Okay, and they say, oh, well, you won't need to either. Look it up. Okay, I'm telling you, that's what part of these issues with these planes they're trying to push. It's also the reason why they've been pushing these electric vehicles. Because again, who controls the electricity, you guys? The government. Well, I'm trying to tell you, y'all better wake up. If you sleep, wake up. But yeah, so there's a ton of different things going on, like the Pope. I think honestly, I'm about to take bets on who the new Pope is going to be. If you got an idea on who you think the next Pope will be, drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Okay, we should start taking what do you call that? A parlay for who the next Pope is going to be. And I know somebody might feel some type of way about that. I wish him good health, and I wish he turns to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and he repents for what he has done, the direction that he has taken the church in. And I don't care what anybody says. I stand on that. That dude ain't right, and he ain't been right since he been in there. He been softening the message of the Catholic Church when we need the Catholic Church to be strong. Okay, he's been saying all types of crazy stuff and enabling the alphabet agenda and illegal aliens and saying, oh, we should take all the illegal aliens, but you're beefing up the security on the borders surrounding Vatican City. What? You understand what I'm saying? What's the Bible say about hypocrites? I was just reading a thing about hypocrites yesterday. Oh my goodness. It's crazy. Like hypocrite for real. Like you can't be doing that, man. Real life Pharisee, you know? Like, I mean, and maybe that goes a little too far for some people saying, oh, he's like that or whatever the case is. Listen, let me tell you this. When I seen him in Brazil, okay, with all of them transsexuals or whatever you call them nowadays, I don't know. Okay. You can't keep up with the terminology and somebody's going to be offended all the time. I don't care. Okay. Whatever you call them. Okay. When he was up on the stage with all of them transsexuals laughing and guffawing and frolicking around, okay, it was unacceptable then. And everything since then has gotten progressively more crazy. Okay. Listen, did you guys hear like a month ago? They're like the Pope said that, oh, you can be gay and you can be a priest as long as you're not acting on those urges or whatever the case is. No, you can't. You know why? Because you are identifying as that. You understand what I'm saying? That means that you do not separate yourself from these from you are not trying to separate yourself from that how would you say it? Concept of sin. You are going right, you are applying that specifically to yourself as your identity. And you're applying that sin to yourself as your identity. That's crazy. That's not okay. That's not okay. And that's coming from me. I believe very firmly that you can have what do you call it? There's a word for it. It's where you can have predisposition, right? That's the best way to say it. Like you can have a predisposition to that type of stuff, right? Like everybody's got their predispositions and predilections. Like you might be more likely to be an alcoholic, or you might be attracted adversely to drugs or whatever the case is, but you don't have to give in to those sins and those temptations, stuff like that, right? Like, but saying and applying that to yourself is something completely different, you know? And it's a very, 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 very concerning situation and move for the Catholic Church that he said that as the Pope, you know? I'm not saying that this is judgment by the Lord, but I am saying that he's an old man, okay? And he's been popping crazy stuff for a while, and maybe it is time that we have a different Pope. Okay. I've been desperately hoping that the church returns. You understand what I'm saying? Returns to its roots and returns to its principles. Under this Pope, it seems that it's moved further away, especially with the removal of all of these bishops and ordained cardinals and stuff like that were removed for standing on business and on scripture. So, I mean, I can't, you know? So I'm sure somebody ain't gonna be happy about that, but I'm only here to tell you the truth. You understand what I'm saying? The Bible talks a lot about that. I'm not about to sit here and play with y'all over religion. That's something that's very, very, very important to me. Okay, very important to me. But people don't want to have that conversation. I see somebody on Twitch is trying to talk some junk. Um, we're not even gonna comment on that at the time. Okay. This is real serious, the direction that we're going as a nation, because what we need is we need an actual revival here in the United States, because we've gotten so far away from religion, we've gotten so far away from Christianity, which is what our nation was founded on. And because those morals and values that were provided by Christianity are moot without God, that's why we've gone down this crazy, crazy path of all this alphabetism and nonsense like that, and it's great to see that the L, G, and the B are trying to separate themselves from the T, I, Q, and all the rest of that insanity, because it's not the same. It's not the same. And that's not me encouraging that either, but it's not the same. And I'm glad that they're separating themselves from that, because we have a greater problem at hand, right? We can only address so many issues at one time. We got a greater problem at hand, and that problem is they're trying to tell you that genders don't exist, that a man doesn't have to be a man and a woman doesn't have to be a woman. So I'm glad for all of them that are standing up and saying, no, that's not okay, because that's trying to erase them as well as it's trying to erase people who are heterosexual. Okay. If you guys are liking what we're talking about, please hit the share button. If you don't like what we're talking about, hit the share button, okay? And definitely hit a thumbs up or a heart button and drop a comment. I'll do my best to pop the comments up on the screen and stuff like that. And I'd like to get to a little bit of New York State while we got a couple minutes left. My governor has lost her raggedy self mind, okay? And that's me being very generous, all right? I saw Trump at the governor's conference the other day, and he was calling out one of the governors. He's like, yo, you need to get on board with this deportation thing of all of these criminal illegal aliens, like not just regular illegal aliens who are criminals, but violent criminal aliens. Like he was talking about how there were a number of, what did it say? 6 child rapists. You understand what I'm saying? That they had to go out and catch because they didn't want to hold them. You understand what I'm saying? And they wouldn't let what do you call it? ICE come pick them up. Like, you let out 6 child rapists, bro? Like, is that what we're doing right now? This is crazy. It's absolutely, absolutely crazy. It doesn't make any type of sense. It's not cool. It's not okay. And what's happening is very wrong by our elected officials. Now, in New York State, if you guys aren't familiar with Kathy Hochul, okay, there was a court case. It's called the Bruin decision. Okay, go look it up. New York State Rifle Association versus Bruin, I believe is the title. Basically, and I might be mixing up my cases, but I'm pretty sure this is the right case that I'm referencing the right case. I'm trying to make sure I'm referencing the right case details. Okay. I believe this was the one where it was New York State is a may issue state, and the Supreme Court said that it needs to be a shall issue state. Okay. Or a will issue state, shall issue state, or whatever the case is. But basically, they were saying that they were denying people their Second Amendment rights. And that's a very, very serious thing. And Kathy Hochul got on the TV the next day after that decision, and she said, the Supreme Court can say what it wants. I do what I want. This is on the TV, you guys. Like, you could probably go pull up this interview right now. Still, I almost can guarantee you can probably still find that interview of her saying that the Supreme Court can say what they want. I do what I want here. That's crazy. She also said that the U.S. Constitution does not apply in New York State. And that was even more crazy. I was looking for the Secret Service or the FBI or somebody to snatch her up off the stage when she said that craziness. Like, is that for real? Like, are we having these serious, serious conversations? It's out of control here in New York State. And the high priestess, Governor Kathy, does what she wants because she says that she speaks for God. She said that before. I don't know if you guys remember during the COVID thing. She said God told her that everybody needs to take a shot. I was like, God didn't tell you none of that crazy nonsense. You lying to the people. Don't lie on God like that. That's crazy. That was absolutely reprehensible that she said that, man. That made me wonder. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell you without saying what I'm saying, but you know what I'm talking about, bro. You don't lie on the Lord. You do not do that. Like that is some extra outlandish stuff. And she did it in a church with her necklace saying vaxxed on it. You understand what I'm saying? These newfound idols that we have these days. It's crazy. Now, we've got the highest taxes in the nation in New York State. Property taxes are out of control. Income taxes are out of control. All of these taxes. You know who doesn't have income tax? Florida. You know what DeSantis said that he's doing today? He said he is getting rid of, wait for it, property tax. Governor DeSantis said in Florida they're getting rid of property tax. I'm like, Lord, glory, hallelujah. Now, if you watch a lot of my other content and stuff like that, you'll hear me saying, oh, well, you shouldn't have to. I believe that they should abolish income tax and they should abolish property tax, because why should you be paying for your property to the government to rent your property after you already bought it, and then the government can take your stuff that you already paid for? That sounds crazy to me. But Governor DeSantis said, hey, man, we're abolishing property tax. And then he gave the same exact reasons that I just gave. I was like, holy moly macaroni. I was like, this is awesome. This is really, really awesome. And it's going to be a boom for the Floridian economy. Floridian. I'm going to go Floridian. Floridian economy. Say that 10 times fast. But that's awesome. I wish New York State would abolish income tax. And remember, they already didn't have income tax in Florida. But I wish that they would abolish income tax here in New York State. I wish they'd abolish the property tax in New York State and get back to what our nation's supposed to be about. Like, it's crazy. We got the highest taxes in the country, and what we get for it? Kicked in the butt. That's what we get, you know? It's ridiculous. I got more to say on it, but I don't want to drag that too much. My thing is this, you guys. We as the people have to get involved, because if we don't get involved, nobody's going to get involved. There are a lot of people out there that call themselves political activists. I always tell people, we don't need any more political activists. We need people to get involved in politics. It is not the same at all. Okay? Get involved in your local politics. Go join your local committee. If you're a Democrat, join your local Democrat committee. If you're a Republican, join your local Republican committee. If you live in a state with other committees for other third parties, join one of those committees. If you don't, just go to a school board meeting or go to a town board meeting, fire district, whatever. Get out there and get active. That's what we must do, because if we don't, nobody is going to make a difference for us. It's only up to us. Only. Nobody is coming to save us. I keep telling people that. People look like, oh, well, Trump is doing so much or whatever the case is. Yeah, what Trump can't do nothing about my state. My state is jacked up left, right, and forward. Okay? Trump can't do nothing about New York State. New York State gonna stay jacked up. Even if he does some of the things that he does, it might make it a little bit better. It's still gonna stay jacked up because we still got the state assembly is trash, the state senate is trash, and the governor is trash. You understand what I'm saying? And I wish that they weren't. And I hope that Kathy Hochul repents, turns to Jesus, and accepts him as her Lord and Savior and follows his teachings, because she's way off the path right now. Like, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely crazy. I'm really, really, really disappointed with what's going on in our state. So I encourage all of you, no matter what state you're in, like, if you don't have to be in New York State, if you're in Florida, get active. If you're in Texas, get active. If you're in California, Wyoming, wherever in the 50 states, get active. If you're in another country, go get active there. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's so important for people to participate in the government if we're going to make it the type of government that we want to actually represent the people the way that we need to. And I'm very, very anxious to see this whole what do you call it? This whole audit or visit to the Fort Knox, because I know that they've been moving around a lot of gold. If you guys follow me on Twitter, a couple weeks ago I put up a post about them taking a whole bunch of gold from England and stuff like that, and some other places, and bringing it back to the U.S. or whatever the case is. I'm telling you, that gold is gone, bro. We need to bring all of our gold, all of the U.S.'s gold, back from wherever it is overseas. Let's ask the internet and see how much of the U.S.'s gold is in overseas banks and storage depositories. Let's see. I'm going to ask right now. Let's find out. How much of the U.S.'s gold is in foreign depositories? Let's see. It says none of the U.S. gold is held in foreign depositories. The U.S. has the world's largest gold reserves, which are stored in the U.S. Well, isn't that interesting? If we have the world's largest gold supply and it's stored all in the U.S., why is it coming back from other countries? Why was that an article? I believe that article was The Independent. It also might have been somewhere else, like the Daily Mail. I don't really like the Daily Mail. They're kind of trash. Okay, they're very trash. It might have been BBC too. But that's crazy. We're supposed to have, let's see, allegedly we're supposed to have 88,200 tons. 8,133.46 tons, making it the largest gold reserve in the world. Bring it all home, bro. I know it's not all here. Don't play in my face. I do not trust them at all, not even a little bit. And I know they're up to no good, and that's why they're trying to push us to digital currency. Again, as I said earlier in the program, the digital currency is just so that the government can have complete control of your life, track your money all the time, and be able to shut off your money at the drop of a hat. Okay? Listen, the government controls electricity and the government controls the internet. You think they won't shut it off if they don't like you or you're saying something that is going against what they want? 100,000%. 100,000%. But again, that's why we have to think about these very serious and important issues. And we need to really have these serious conversations. Because if we're not, who's going to? Nobody. That's who. It's just us. That's all we've got. And if not us, then who? If not now, then when? But this is why I love doing this show and love being able to talk to you guys every week. So I encourage you, please do donate whatever you can. $5, $25, $50, $100, whatever you can to the show so we can get more airtime, so we can work on growing the program and starting to save up to get some better equipment. I know you guys see sometimes the audio equipment cuts out a little bit or the video cuts out a little bit. We're working on saving to get some more equipment. If you guys could help us, that'd be awesome. Please support the show. If you guys own a business and you'd like to sponsor the show, reach out, let me know. Okay, we'll broadcast your business saying you're a sponsor. Please donate. Cash App, that's $MW Real, the number one. And you can do PayPal or Venmo. That's at Marcus C. Williams. We also have givesendgo.com/Marcus C. Williams. Please donate and help us continue getting the information in our programs out that we do. We have also the show, The Elephant in the Room, that we do on Sundays, which will be moving to a new day and time this coming week because right now my schedule is a little different. So the Sunday is not working out for me. Plus, we got petitions to go collect, which is part of the civic process. You gotta go get petitions to get people on the ballot in the middle of the cold and the snow in New York State, because New York State sucks. I love my state, but the laws are trishy trash, okay? So it's really serious. We'll see what ends up happening with everything that's going on. I do want to leave you with this. Trump did the other day have a Black History Month celebration, and that was really, really awesome. And the same day after that, he made this lady his pardon czar, which was honestly really amazing. And now, if you guys understand about pardons, um, pardons essentially are given out by the president to release people from federal crimes or federal prisons and stuff like that. Or you can get one after you've served your time. Basically, it just erases what you did. You know what I'm saying? So it's awesome that the lady, her name is Alice Marie Johnson. Johnson, yeah. Alice Marie Johnson. And she was in jail, prison, right? For allegedly drug distribution charges or whatever the case is. She said that it wasn't her. She didn't distribute no drugs. She was just a middleman or whatever the case was. So I don't know the whole thing for the reason for the pardon originally, but I do know that she did advocate very strongly for many people that were inside the prison system that were either wrongfully accused or were should have been released. So that was really awesome that she did that. Trump gave her clemency in his first term and then pardoned her. So that was awesome. Now she's going to be the pardon czar. That means that Trump's going to let out a whole bunch of people. That means that Trump's going to let out a whole bunch of people, and that's going to be really good. Trump's really trying to go down in history as one of the best presidents ever. I mean, that's amazing to me. Like, you have somebody that has a history of advocacy, and this is a black woman, you guys. Like a black, formerly incarcerated woman who is a criminal. No matter how, there ain't no two shades about it. She was a criminal, okay? But she's worked at turning her life around, and she's been given a second chance, and Trump's helping with that to allow her to help others get a second chance. That's amazing. How come that's not on CNN? How come that's not on MSNBC? How come Joy Reid's not talking about that? You understand? How come it's not on The View? How come they're not talking about this? This is one of the most amazing things that has happened in the Trump administration yet. I'm anxious and excited to see all of the people that she pardons. I hope that she pardons a lot of good people that deserve it. You understand what I'm saying? If you guys know one thing about me, I'm not a big fan of the prison system. Okay, it does not rehabilitate or correct nothing. And I very much so support on the state level, okay, comprehensive prison reform. The federal prisons is above my pay grade. That's too high a level, but they definitely need something done about the federal prisons as well. And we just saw how the federal prisons were with the J6ers. Whether you like the J6ers or you don't like the J6ers, the fact of the matter of the quality of the holding conditions in that federal prison in Washington state were so bad. I mean, Washington, the District of Columbia, were so bad that nobody should have ever been in there. It's like a prison in a third or fourth world country. I don't even know that there is a fourth world country, but if there was, that's kind of like what that prison was. That prison was like what you envision a Turkish prison to be. Okay. There's a long running and standing joke that you don't want to go to Turkish prison because it's just that bad. But that's like how bad it was. Like they were putting them in it was really bad conditions. You can go look it up, the conditions that the J6ers had to stay in and stuff like that. So when I talk about we need comprehensive prison reform on the state level, 100%, but that goes and shows you the quality in the federal prison system for many prisoners. It's not acceptable. And a lot of them are not going to be rehabilitated because you're not giving them any type of quality of life to be rehabilitated, nor the tools to be rehabilitated, and that's something we need to talk about, but we'll leave it here for today. I love you all. Okay, please donate. That's Marcus. It's on Cash App. It's $MW Real, the number one. It's Cash App. You can donate $MW Real 1. Okay, please donate 5, 10, 25, 50, whatever you can. We're trying to raise $50 to $100 an episode. Okay, so that we can get more airtime. Airtime ain't free, you guys. Okay, plus we need to get some better equipment. I know you guys saw the camera freezing a little bit and jumping a little bit earlier. Okay, again, we need better equipment. If you guys are listening to us on the radio, please, you can donate to Cash App, $MW Real 1. We also have the PayPal and Venmo, and that's at Marcus C. Williams. You can donate there. That's PayPal and Venmo is at Marcus C. Williams. We have givesendgo.com/Marcus C. Williams as always. And if you guys live in Rochester, I am running for city council. Please donate or volunteer with my campaign. That's Marcus, the number 4Rochester.com. That's Marcus, the number 4Rochester.com. Go on my website, donate, volunteer there so that we can make real change and deliver some real leadership and real direction for our city. I love you all. Be blessed and be well. Remember, stand up, speak up, and don't shut up. Take action. I'll catch you later. We're out, you guys. I'll catch you guys later. We're working on a couple of different show programming things this week coming up. I got a couple of things I'm working on. We're working on something for some local and state level politics. I'm working on doing the show on that coming up soon. You'll see that coming forth. Also working on moving the Elephant in the Room program to another day. So that's coming up too. So we're going to rework some of the stuff, but I could use your guys' help and your assistance. Please make sure that you share this out and get it out to more people. Okay. Like, share, subscribe. You know how it works. Drop a comment. Comments help the algorithm as well. Okay. Make sure you tune into our other stuff. And if you're online right now, please make sure you're following whatever you're watching us on right now. And if you're on YouTube, it's the Marcus C. Williams channel. I'll catch you guys later. And remember, stand up, speak up, and don't shut up. Be blessed and be well. Take action. Please make sure you guys donate. The ticker on the bottom shows you how to donate. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all that. We got that so you guys can help us get the word out to more people. I'll catch y'all later.